Have you ever found yourself longing to become someone unbreakable? A person who brushes off criticism, rejection, loss, or even betrayal without a second thought? Perhaps you've caught yourself daydreaming about a time when that quiet ache, that gnawing torment deep inside, finally fades away, especially when you're putting on a brave face for the world to see. Maybe you're just exhausted from constantly trying to make everyone happy, from upholding this image of unshakable strength, when all you really crave is a brief pause, a chance to breathe without the weight of being invincible pressing down on you. But here's something worth hearing, something others might shy away from saying out loud. As long as you keep dodging pain, it's going to keep running the show. If you numb yourself to shield your heart or bury your feelings to stay safe, you're still trapped, held captive by the words that sting, the actions that let you down, and those deafening silences that tear you apart inside. This isn't a sign of weakness though, it's just how most people live. The only difference? Some are better at faking it than others. Carl Jung, one of the brightest minds in depth psychology, put it this way: we aren't defined by what life throws at us, but by what we decide to grow into. And that's the real secret here. It's not about building walls to keep the world out, turning cold, or pretending nothing touches you. It's about facing what's already there, shining a light on the shadows that mess with you in secret. Real strength isn't about never feeling pain, it's about knowing exactly who you are, even when you're hurting, even when life cuts deep. If you're still with me, it's no accident. This video is speaking to you, you who are worn out from beating yourself up over everything and everyone. It's for you who feel like you're always on the losing end emotionally, like others hold some mysterious sway over you that you can't quite figure out. I'm here to tell you it doesn't have to stay that way. But to get there, you'll need to wrestle with some hard truths, truths that might sting a little. And yet, maybe for the first time, that sting could be what sets you free. So let's dive in. You probably think the source of your pain is out there, tied to what people do, the careless words they toss around, the times you've been left behind, or the betrayals that blindsided you. But here's the raw, unfiltered reality. None of that can truly wound you unless there's already a crack inside waiting to split open. What hurts isn't just what others do, it's what those moments stir up within you. It's the narrative you spin in your head, the old scars you've never faced, the hollowness you cover up with grit, with pride, with this frantic need to look like you've got it all together. Jung teaches us something powerful. The pain we feel when the world knocks us around is really just a mirror of what's still unresolved inside. That's why some folks can weather crushing blows and still see clearly, while others fall apart over a single offhand remark. It's not about the event itself, it's about where it lands, what it triggers. And here's the tough pill to swallow. You're still hurting so much because, deep down, you think you can manage how the world treats you. You're still chasing good enough, smart enough, tough enough, kind enough, hoping it'll be your armor against pain. But here's the kicker: control is a mirage. As long as you grip it tight, you're stuck in this exhausting loop, trying to outguess the chaos, trying to sidestep what's bound to come. Want the suffering to ease up? Then stop hiding from it. What you need isn't more control, it's more clarity. As long as you're waiting for others to change so you can feel okay, you're handing them the reins to your peace. Real freedom starts when you realize that what comes at you from the outside only has teeth if it resonates with something already echoing inside you. And that's where the real fight happens, in the unseen corners of your mind, the unconscious. What you don't notice, don't grasp, don't tame, it's what's quietly steering you. That's what we're digging into next. Get ready to go a layer deeper, because that's where the real shift begins. If this is clicking for you, hit that subscribe button and join the channel. Thanks for sticking around. Your support keeps this going. Oh, and one last thing before we move on. The biggest myth you've ever bought into? That you're the one calling the shots in your life. Let's be real, you're not fully awake yet, not as long as you keep drifting through life on autopilot, reacting to things without a clue why, feeling emotions you can't trace back to their roots, and making choices you end up unraveling later. Carl Jung laid it out plain and simple. Until you bring the unconscious into the light, it's going to steer your life, and you'll just shrug and call it destiny. That's exactly what's playing out for you right now. That ache you can't shake, the frustration that flares up out of nowhere, the gloom that sneaks in without warning, none of it's random. These are signals, little flares shot up from the parts of yourself you've shoved aside, overlooked, or buried deep. Jung called this hidden realm the unconscious, and it's not some fuzzy cloud of half-baked ideas. It's a living, breathing force, a whole network of memories, old wounds, buried wishes, and fears you'd rather not face. Whether you like it or not, it's calling the shots on how you feel and what you do. Ever wonder why a single comment can knock you flat while someone else just shrugs it off? It's because those words hit raw spots inside you that are still kicking, still tender. And they're alive because you've never really dealt with them. You've just swept them under the mental rug, only to keep stumbling over the mess. Jung had another gem: we can't shift anything until we own it. Judging it doesn't free you, it locks you down tighter. So what have you been up to? Criticizing yourself, stuffing down your feelings, hushing that inner voice like it's going to fix everything. Spoiler, it doesn't. The unconscious doesn't vanish just because you pretend it's not there. It gets sneakier, showing up in the same lousy relationships you can't escape, the self-sabotage you can't shake, or the sudden panic that hits when life's actually going okay. That's not rotten luck, it's your unconscious banging on the door, begging you to wake up. But you keep hitting snooze. Want to be someone who doesn't get crushed by every little thing? Then stop dodging what's inside you. As long as you're blind to your unconscious, you're just a puppet jerked around by your own emotions. The harder you try to shield yourself from the outside hurt, the more the inside hurt sneaks up on you. But there's a way through this, and it's not about throwing up more defenses. It's about pulling yourself together, piece by piece. Becoming unshakable isn't about pushing back. It's about knowing yourself so deeply that nothing can rattle you. That's what we're digging into next, what it really means to stand steady, and why that strength comes from embracing yourself, not armoring up. Let's keep going. Most folks think the trick to dodging pain is to shut down. They build emotional walls, slap on fake smiles, wrap themselves in tough guy armor, and act like nothing gets under their skin. I'm over it, they say. Doesn't faze me one bit. But behind the scenes, they're still hurting, still crumbling bit by bit. The issue was never about feeling stuff. It's about not understanding what's churning inside and why it's there. That's a trap for people who haven't met themselves yet. Jung nailed it when he said, study every theory, master every trick, but when you're dealing with a human soul, just be human. And that soul you keep hiding behind this tough, untouchable front? It's pleading to be noticed. Getting emotionally solid isn't about turning icy or brushing off pain like it's nothing. It's not about dodging fights or pretending you're above it all. It's about weaving everything together, accepting the messy stuff, dragging what's been rotting in the dark into the daylight. You don't become untouchable by walling yourself off from the world. You get there when you realize no one can shake what you've already made peace with inside. When you own your shadows, your doubts, your quirks, your shaky spots, you stop bouncing off every little jab. You watch, you decide, you move. You're not an emotional yo-yo anymore. That's real freedom. Jung had a name for this: individuation. It's the journey of figuring out who you actually are, not who people want you to be, not the version you polished up to fit in, but the real deal that rises when your light and dark sides shake hands. It's not about chasing perfection, like Jung said, it's about becoming whole. You don't need to turn into some upgraded model of yourself. You just need to stop splitting yourself apart. And here's the quiet truth no one's spilled yet. The harder you try to outrun pain, the faster it tracks you down. The more you fight to stay unaffected, the shakier your foundation gets. But when you turn and face those inner scars, when you embrace every piece of yourself, the stunning and the flawed, the proud and the messy, nothing out there can tear you apart. Walking this road takes guts though. It demands the bravery to peek inside, to ditch the disguises, to let yourself feel. Because, believe it or not, the secret to real change is tucked right inside that pain. That's what we're unpacking next: how suffering, far from being your foe, might just be the doorway to your deepest strength. Let's wade in further, this time, no holding back. From the time you were small, you were taught to despise pain. People told you suffering means you're weak, that tears are pointless, that feeling too much leaves you exposed. So you started dodging it, running, ignoring, pretending it's not there. But here's the catch. The more you sprint away, the more it hounds you. Worse yet, it switches up its game, sneaking in as restlessness, rage, numbness, boredom, or those reckless urges you can't even explain. Pain you brush off doesn't just fade, it burrows underground, carving out tunnels until one day, out of nowhere, the whole thing caves in. Jung saw it differently. To him, pain wasn't a curse, it was a signal, a wake-up call from your soul, a nudge from the unconscious. It's how the real you, the whole you, tries to grab your attention. He had this great line about depression: picture it like a visitor dressed in black. When she shows up, don't shove her out, pull up a chair, pour her a cup of coffee, and hear her out. But you tune it out. You hush yourself, scroll endlessly, stay busy, numb out, anything to avoid facing what's really going on. What's this hurt trying to point you toward? Here's the deal. It stings so bad because you're still fighting yourself. One part of you is itching to evolve, while another digs in its heels, clinging to the status quo. Something in you is screaming for a shift, but your ego, hooked on being in charge, keeps trying to smother that voice. That tug-of-war? That's where the ache comes from. Change isn't painless, growth stings. Letting go of old ideas smarts, cutting loose what's dragging you down feels like a loss. It's a kind of grieving, an inner cycle of endings and fresh starts. But right there, in that wreckage, something new can take root. When everything you've built up gets stripped away, when your certainties shatter, when pain leaves you raw and open, you finally get a clear look at who you are. No shields, no act, no mask. And in that moment, suffering turns into something holy. It drops you to your knees in front of the one thing that can truly free you, yourself. Jung got this. He knew pain isn't a glitch, it's part of the ride. It's not the finish line, it's the starting block for individuation. The trouble is, most people bail before they make it through that shadowy stretch. They bolt, they zone out, they skim the surface again. But not you. If you're still here, you're ready to push across. Next up, we'll break down how that crossing works, how individuation, as rough and solitary as it can feel, is what finally cuts the chains. Let's keep going, it's getting real now. Not many dare to start the individuation journey, and even fewer stick it out. This path doesn't hand you a cozy blanket or a safety net, it doesn't coddle your ego. It dismantles it. Jung described individuation as stepping into who you truly are, but that means unlearning who you thought you were, and that cuts deeper than any outside snub. You start seeing that so much of what you've leaned on to define yourself was just smoke and mirrors. You're not your wins, your wounds, or that polished image you crafted to feel worthy or noticed. Those were survival tools, sure, but surviving isn't the same as thriving. Individuation is life yelling at you to move past just getting by. It's when the unconscious starts shoving everything you've stuffed down, every hidden twist, every warped piece, right into the open. Jung wrote that individuation means shedding the persona, that handy mask we all wear to fit in with the crowd. It's a costume of convenience, he said, and to uncover what's really inside you, you've got to peel back the layers, like shedding your own skin. That's where the magic of becoming untouchable starts. Not because life stops throwing punches, but because you've already walked through the flames. You've stared down your inner beasts, your shame, your clinginess, your fury, and said, I get you, and you don't own me anymore. It's this sharp, inner focus, this clear-eyed view of your own shadows, that hands you a kind of strength that doesn't hinge on applause, praise, or being in charge. You don't need everyone to adore you, you don't need to come out on top in every debate, you don't need to flex toughness. Because you know who you are, and no one can snatch that away. Real emotional armor isn't some hard shell you hide behind, it's a steady center, a weaving together of every piece of you into a solid core that holds firm when chaos hits. Sure, pain might still sting, but it doesn't shatter you. You might feel the hurt, but you don't lose your footing. You're not just reacting anymore, you're whole, living deeper than the surface. But here's the trade-off, that depth comes with a dose of solitude. Not because you're abandoned, but because so few can walk this road with you. Most people are still stuck up top, clinging to their masks, terrified of feeling anything real. As you break free, you naturally drift apart, not out of arrogance, but growth. You're not rejecting anyone, you just don't fit in the old hiding spots anymore. That brings us to the big finish of this journey, consciousness as your shield. It's not raw strength that keeps you safe, it's clarity. That's what we're unpacking in this last stretch, how consciousness becomes the one state where nothing, and I mean nothing, can overpower you. Let's wrap this crossing up together, we're almost there. Now that you've made it this far, let's lay it out straight. No amount of dodging will save you from life's blows if you're still blind to what's churning inside. Words will keep cutting, rejections will keep burning, losses will keep dragging you under, until you wake up. And waking up isn't some fairy tale moment, it's a choice you make every day. It's peering inward even when it's uncomfortable, owning every emotion without pointing fingers at others, your past, or luck. Jung put it perfectly, what you push away sticks around, what you embrace changes. You've spent years battling the fear of falling short, the hollow sting of being overlooked, the ache of loneliness, the sting of invisibility. And how'd you handle it? You hid, you hushed yourself, you tried to micromanage everything, chasing perfection and toughness. Where'd that land you? Worn out, fed up with wrestling the world, and yourself. But here's the truth you've uncovered, real emotional freedom isn't about toughening up, it's about seeing clearly. It's not about slapping on more armor, it's about widening your awareness. When you get a grip on what sets you off, the habits you repeat, the wounds you carry, other people's actions lose their bite. You'll still feel things. Life doesn't stop, but you won't sink. You'll still hurt sometimes, but you won't lose who you are. And that shifts everything. What guards you isn't shutting life out, it's plunging into it, head first and fearless. People skimming the surface get tossed by every ripple. Those who dive deep find calm, strength, and stillness waiting below. That's where you're headed. When you start living from that place, where everything's tied together, where you're present and at peace with it all, the world can swing at you, but it won't find a target. If this video stirred something in you, if you feel that spark flickering awake, drop it in the comments. I choose strongness. Let's kick off a wave of people done with faking strength to scrape by, ready to live real and raw instead. And don't skip the next video. It's part of this ride, and it matters. True change doesn't kick in if you stop at the first step. I'll catch you there.